everybody, how's it going with being at home, trying to do some work and having your kids around? Hey, listen, I had posted this super simple schedule and I created a video kind of introducing how to use it, the best strategies for using it. I also had posted I guess a slightly more advanced version of schedules, and that's this schedule and task tracking. It's also on my website. You can download this, it's a guide. So I was gonna post them chunk by chunk because my program, or not my program, but my system for time management with ADHD brains, it's a three-step, kind of a not even really a three-step, a three-part system. I'm tripping over my words now. My brain's starting to get tired today. All right, so, check that out. Look down in the postings and check that out. But I wanted to do a little video to visit on the wall calendar. That's that first chunk of the scheduling system. And in this packet, and also posted on Facebook, I put my little guide for wall calendars. Because you want to use wall calendars, you definitely want to have a wall calendar up for your kiddo with all of this uncertainty. When am I going back to school? Maybe for those of you who are, having to stay inside, and I don't remember what they're calling the total quarantine thing. I don't remember what they're calling it. But your kids might be wondering, how long is this going to last? When do I get to go back and see my teacher? How long have I been at home? How long is this? The days when you stay kind of in the same spot, the days can kind of float by. It's kind of like going camping or being on a boat or something, you start to lose track, right? So I think it is a great idea to help anchor them in time and space by having a wall calendar up. But when you do wall calendars, the month view wall calendars, you want to do it a little bit differently. ADHDers use wall calendars kind of like we all use clocks. It's to anchor ourselves in time and space with past and future. It helps it's almost like when you're driving somewhere, and back in the old days when we used to have paper maps, right? Or you pull over and go, I'm trying to get my bearings here, and you pull out the map and you look at the map from like the large view and then come back down into the smaller view. That's really what a wall calendar is like for an ADHDer. And so you want to have access to that. But if you make your wall calendar the to-do list, if you write down all the things they need to do each day, they're gonna stop looking at it because it becomes overwhelming. Is this a to-do list or is this the time? It's like if you wrote all your to-do list things on the clock at home. Eventually you're just gonna see the to-do list, you're not gonna see the clock. So what we wanna do is have just a regular old calendar, whatever calendar. I am a fan of these Walgreens picture calendars because you can see how it's shining in the light a little bit. They are great because you can draw on them with dry erase marker and erase it. So things change, events change, and it's great to be able to just erase the event completely, like going back to school after spring break. Erase the event completely, and when there's a change, so that it doesn't just add to more of the clutter. Now, one of the things is you really want to make sure that you cross off the days as you're going through, because an ADHD eye doesn't look at a calendar and go, yep, that's where we are. The ADHD eye looks at the calendar and says, oh, this is all now. And that's a tough spot. So what you want to do is cross off the days so that you can see where they are. This is the past, it's done. This is the future. This is where our promise is, right? Where we can do things better and get things done. Now, with all of this being out of school and these decisions that are being made about having to stay inside and things like that, for kiddos, especially kids that are time blind, being inside and being told you have to stay inside for the next 2 weeks, they're not really going to grasp that necessarily, what that really is going to feel like or what it feels like. And so it's really helpful to show them on the calendar. So I would suggest, I did it with orange here, I would suggest highlighting on the calendar, okay, so these are the days right now in Arizona as of today. Today's March 23rd, so I don't know when people might be seeing this, but is today March 23rd? Yeah. Look at me, I'm looking at my own calendar that I help anchor myself instead of the calendar that's right in front of my face. Anyway, I put on here, you know, these are the days that in Arizona they're saying kids have to stay out of school so far right now and stuff, so that they can see where they're at in space and time, what to look forward to, things like that. Now, you really want to have very little writing on it. In fact, I would say I've even broken my own rules and put probably more writing on here than I wanted. But, you know, color code some things, add symbols. You can see all the little hearts. That's spring break right there. My daughter drew hearts on it. You can do little symbols or maybe one letter. You just don't want to clutter it up too much because you don't want it to start looking like a to-do list, because you want your child to look at it. You want them to happen to see it. Which brings me to another tip. Put this calendar in somewhere strange. Don't put it in the usual spots everybody else puts it. Put it somewhere strange where your child's eyes are going to lay on it once a day. That they're just going to happen to walk by and they're going to kind of see it. And so I want to say the signs that your calendar is working, that they're using it, that they're actually kind of looking at it and noticing where they are in space and time. One of the positive signs, one of the good signs that it's working the way it should be, the way we need it for our kids, for our ADHD kids, is that they'll start drawing on it themselves, kind of like my kids did. They'll start marking things themselves, or they'll start marking the days off and making sure it's marked off because they can feel how that helps them. They will also start asking questions. What's going on next week? What's happening? When is my birthday? Even 6 months in the future, when's my birthday? You know, so they'll start writing on it and they'll start asking questions that are time related. That is a good sign. That means we are, you know, building their time horizon. And first they have to see it on the outside of their body visually for their brain to start to digest and understand the concept. All right, folks, well, easy cheesy. You most likely already have a calendar somewhere in your house anyway. So there's your tips for using it in a way that makes sense to ADHD kids. Take care.